I really wanted to give Babylon's Fall a chance. I totally forgot that it freaking makes you sign in for no reason. For no reason. Like, there is no reason for to have to use a specific account. Like, just use my freaking gamer tag for my PlayStation name. This is dope. I'm gonna turn that down a little bit because this is really loud. Wow. Hello? Come on. Come on. Hello? Now Twitch. God, everything just sucks. Rinko? God damn it, Rinko. Erica? Trying to make sure I'm still here, but the stupid thing isn't going. Do this. Okay, so it looks like I'm still here, but my stupid app isn't being cooperative. There we go. Jesus. Okay. Okay. There we go. All right. No one wants to talk about it, but it's all that's on anyone's minds these days. Mysterious things are happening all around Shibuya. Sightings, attacks, disappearances, fear. How is a kid supposed to be a kid in a time like this? But honestly, Ryota never really was like most kids. He's not usually glued to his phone all day. Ryota's concerns bring him to a mysterious case file posted online. It's titled The Kirigaoka Vanishing. He reads it to himself the best he can. Kirigaoka? Having tracked another report of dark fog to the area, I arrived to find it had passed, leaving dreary rain hanging over the neighborhood. At the scene, all we found were the clothes of a mother and son, left behind like two molted cicada shells. It's hard to even imagine a parent and her child just gone, precious lives snuffed out forever. My heart sank knowing that I had failed to protect them. It was the worst feeling I'd ever felt. As if on cue, the rain started pouring down, Heavier and heavier it fell each passing minute, but I couldn't be bothered to take out my umbrella. That's when the obvious culprits returned to the scene of the crime. A group of monsters. They had umbrellas of their own, as if rain followed them wherever they go. I was furious. I brought hell down onto them at that very moment. They tried to protect themselves with the umbrellas, but I just kept pounding on them until they were battered and broken. I was so exhausted I could have fallen over at any moment, but my utter wrath kept me going. As I picked up to leave, I still refused to open up my own umbrella. I just walked away, rain pouring and soaking me to the bone. KK. Ryota's concerns bring him to a mysterious case file posted online. I'm actually I'm selecting things. I didn't realize that. God dang it. Okay. Oh, wait, no. Or was I? God dang it. There's no text log? What kind of freaking... You can't use the D-pad? God dang it. Hold on. This is so stupid. In visual novels, you can go back. What the heck? This is a fake. God dang it. This is a fake visual novel. Worst feeling felt seeing a crime. Blah blah. KK. Whoa, that's a bug. If you keep pressing the same articles, the other articles disappear as if you're reading the other articles. That is ridiculous. Unable to shake the idea that monsters are all around him, Ryota navigates on his phone to a document called the Marunouchi Vanishing. The language is complicated, but he works to understand it. It says, I got a tip on a missing woman from Marunouchi. When you've been a detective as long as I have, you tend to build up a big network of contacts. The story my contact told me was that they saw the woman one day when the fog rolled in. It blanketed the area, and then poof, she was gone. Times like these make me wish a certain somebody was around. Come to think of it, the fog and these disappearances set the scene for when I first met the rest of my crew. Everybody kept talking about folks just up and disappearing, and I thought it was a load of horse shit. Wasn't until I met them, and until my encounter, that I believed. Ever since then, I've been haunted by what I would have called hallucinations. Turns out, being able to see spirits and monsters isn't fantasy movie nonsense after all. Guess I should be thankful, because otherwise, I wouldn't have seen through that monster taking the form of the woman. She made a bunch of red orbs appear that chased me around, but I knew so long as I didn't let myself get surrounded, I'd be okay. She was a nightmare to look at, so I put her out of her misery. When I searched the scene, I spotted a woman's handbag, found the missing lady's ID cards in there. Then I came across some clothes that looked like would have been hers. They were in a little pile, but the way they had fallen made it clear her body had just vanished. No mistaking whose handiwork it was either. I'd finally managed to get my hands on a solid enough lead to work with. KK. Could monsters really live among us? These case files say that yes, they absolutely can, and do. According to this one, a lady called me about a missing person who vanished from the bathroom of her apartment. Usually I'd brush it off as another runaway, but after seeing the crows circling above her apartment, I had had a feeling there'd be more to this. The black stains on the front door verified my hunch. It turns out that I'm the only one that can see these black stains. The lady who lived there and showed me in made no signs of noticing it. She showed me the bathtub and gave me the play-by-play of what happened. Her boyfriend was taking a bath, longer than usual, and so she went to the bathroom to check in on him. When she opened the door, her boyfriend was gone, and for a short instant, there was a reflection of an old shrine on the surface of the bathwater. I rubbed my finger on the rim of the bathtub, and there was a transparent, sticky, slime-like substance on it, a reflection of a shrine shown on the water's surface. I'll need to talk further with my team about this incident, to see if these things ring any bells. Purge the black stain. Oh, I can barely see the eye. I purged the black stain on the front door and then left the scene. Poor lady. What will she do now? What can any of us do? KK. In these posts, the kid had found something, or rather someone. Someone called KK has been looking into monsters in this part of town. A believer, just like Ryota. Social media would never lie, and that means KK is an expert, maybe the expert, in all things paranormal. I think social media will lie a little bit. There's only one thing left to do. Having pored over every story, post, and grainy photo about local monsters he could find, Ryota prepares to take action. I'm gonna ask this KK guy to help. Just gotta figure out where he lives first. Let's see here. Dear Mr. Investigator Person, where are you at? You want to talk? You want to hang out? Hello, how are you? I'm not good and I need your help. Monsters got my best friend, Sosuke. Rinko sits up in her chair. She zeroed in on one of a dozen monitors from across a makeshift command center stuffed into this cramped Tokyo apartment. It happened near the manhole. Please help me get him back. Data flies across the screens, seemingly too much. Charts and graphs, maps and mathematical equations, even social media feeds and open case files. Somehow, through all those screens and all that clutter, Ryota's message catches Rinko's eye. Sounds desperate, but it could just be some bored kid trolling us. Calm and confident, Rinko insists on balancing compassion with skepticism in her analytical approach. On the other hand, that manhole is within the vicinity of several recent incidents. Maybe he is involved. She knows what she thinks, but she also knows no one can protect Tokyo all by themselves. Trusting your teammates is the only way to keep everyone safe. What do you make of it, Ed? Ed squints and takes a deep breath as he turns to the screen. He has something to say, but holds it back. Technology is easy. People are hard. Instead of speaking up, he places a small recorder on his desk. He presses play, and as the audio begins to roll, Ed turns and walks away. I've heard intriguing stories about so-called manhole girls in Japan. Vengeful ghosts of bullies students said to trick other what? Vengeful ghosts of bullied students said to trick other children into following them into the sewer, from where they never return. If any information turns up about such anomalies, I'd be keen to investigate. Though I speak purely out of personal interest, it might not be enough to make the rest of my team pursue it without further evidence. Okay, safe to say, since you somehow found the time to record something this specific about a single urban legend, that you want to look into it. Ed is already engrossed in other work. He doesn't respond. He certainly doesn't notice when Rinko rolls her eyes. He rarely does. Probably best we have no idea how you spend your free time, huh, Ed? Erica's been sitting next to Rinko this entire time, listening and waiting for the right time to chime in. That time is, want me to check it out? I don't think so, Erica. It could be dangerous. What if something happens to you? Seriously? You still don't trust me to go out by myself for 5 minutes in the middle of the day? At just 16 years old, Rinko might be right not to trust Erica on something dangerous. But Rinko knows that Erica has shown a maturity beyond her years. She gives Erica an almost sisterly look of skepticism. You know it's not that. Rinko quickly turns back to her monitors and away from Erica. But for all her maturity, Erica can't quite keep from pouting. Stop making that face. Besides, we've got our very own private detective in the vicinity already. I'll have him take a look. Oops. I didn't mean to do that. The stall is brimming as a wide array of customers eat in relative silence. The only sound they make is the slurping of their own noodles. That silence breaks when a phone begins to vibrate upon the countertop. Okay, why was the intro music so loud? And now, like, this music is so quiet. Okay. The owner ignores it, choosing to focus on his meal instead. The phone doesn't care about his hunger and continues to vibrate. The phone wins. The peace and solitude have shattered. This is no way to enjoy noodles. God damn it. The silent diner finally glances at the screen. He begins to mutter to himself. Another case. These people have me working harder than my enemies ever did. Can't even get 5 minutes to enjoy a nice quiet lunch. Let me guess, I'll be risking life and limb. That why you let it ring for so long? Too scared to pick up? You know the exact day I stopped being scared of anything. The day you stopped being a loner and hooked up with us? What? Ooh, that phrase has connotations. The day you stopped being a loner and hooked up with us so we could have your back? Sure, that works. Besides, I'm not full enough to pretend this team isn't half okay. If you need backup, you know I'll be there. No questions asked. I actually already volunteered, but... Oh wait, no. That was the other... Fuck. It's so hard. This is why I don't do visual novels. But right now, there's nothing dangerous to be worried about. It's a simple check-in on a report of some suspicious activity that might be connected to these phenomena we've been looking into. It's always the simple cases that go south the fastest. You know what? You're right. Maybe Erica should run point on this one. Sure, she's just a kid, but you're busy, so... Whoa, hold up. Let's not sacrifice the rookie to make me look bad. I'm already out. Send me the info and I'll get on it. First, though, I need to talk to one of you about something. Ooh. I need to talk to me about me. What does that mean? To just not talk to any of them? Kinda want to know more about Rinko. Hey Rinko, let me guess. Pissed I interrupted your precious solitary soba time guy? Irked, not pissed. I was almost done. God forbid the report of a vengeful spirit abducting children interrupt the same bowl of noodles you've had 1,000 times. Not much left in this world I love. When I think of something else, I'll tell you. You won't have a chance to add to that list if we don't figure this out. We both know how powerful the forces we're dealing with really are. We have to keep pulling these threads until we've unraveled the whole damn thing. No threat is too small. Guess I can't argue with that. Why does the Twitch app suck so much? There we go. That'll work, I guess. Ugh. Whatever, it's fine. I know I can rely on you. It might be the only thing I know for certain. Now go prove how smart I am, dumbass. It's the job I was born to do. Ryota doesn't notice the people passing him on the street. They don't notice him either. He is young, but he is very much alone. His focus is centered on the small bit of paper in his hands. After a couple folds, the paper finds a familiar configuration. With the head, arms, and body, it takes shape. A palm-sized person stands in his hand. As Ryota inspects his creation, someone who has been observing him from afar steps out of the shadows. What have you got there? Ryota looks up. He's nervous, but clutches the paper doll in his hand to stay brave. He's not running or hiding, despite the gruff stranger staring at him. No need to be afraid. I'm not here to do anything bad to you, or your little friend. Gotta admit, I've been known to carry the odd paper doll with me on investigations. Strange habit, I know. But you get the benefits of a partner without the annoying small talk. Ryota's shoulders ease. He lets his guard down as he listens to the detective and re-examines the folded paper. The detective surprises himself with his playful tone. He's rusty, but he somehow still feels comfortable talking to the scared kid. Sometimes paper dolls are used for magical purposes. You a sorcerer by chance? Now's the time to tell me. So, you really are him, huh? Gonna have to be more specific, kid. You're KK, the ghost hunter from the files. You must be. I just thought you'd be taller. They say you solve some strange mysteries. Right? KK. Maybe. The detective looks closely at Ryota's phone. He sees the social media posts featuring photos of various case files he has worked on, collected in one place. Look, I only use those initials because writing out my name is a pain, and I got too much pain already. Not your problem, right? Anyway, that's me, KK. But I'm not a ghost hunter, I'm a detective. KK's demeanor hardens a bit, dropping the playfulness. You wanted an investigator, kid. Well, you got one. I'm so glad you're going to look into the disappearances at the manholes. Here's the thing. I already did. Made some calls on the way here. There's no record of any recent disappearances. Still got a few friends on the force, so I can dig up dirt quick. KK shoots Ryota a serious look. Not trying to pull a fast one on me, are you, kid? It's true, honest. My buddy Sosuke disappeared. He hasn't come home since yesterday. Last place I saw him was right back here. Ryota motions to the alleyway behind him. He went down that way. I tried to follow, but I couldn't find him. He was completely gone. If Ryota is bluffing, he's an incredible liar. A sadness comes over him when he looks back toward the alley. KK looks back and forth, from the kid, then to the alleyway behind him. All alleys are dark, but this one looks like it's never seen daylight. See any fog when that happened? The moment he disappeared? Now that you mention it, there's been something spooky around, like a kind of fog or darkness. But it came and then went. Alright. KK mutters something to himself as he eyeballs the alleyway behind Ryota. Nothing looks immediately out of place. With so much going down in the city, some kid getting lost doesn't exactly seem like front page news. Oh. Let's call the kid's bluff. I can't be the first adult you've asked for help. Fess up. Why has everyone else ignored you? I don't know why. I just don't think anyone else cares about Sosuke like I do. From the sounds of things, Sosuke had some issues. Sure he didn't run away? The pressure begins to build on Ryota, and it shows. His eyes become glassy as he tries to hold his emotions in, but he can't. No one believes me. No one will help Sosuke. He'll never survive without me. I'm his best friend. Not even you will believe me, and you will believe in anything. Whoa. I don't just believe anything. I'm sorry, Sosuke. Adults never believe in monsters. Ryota turns from KK and begins to run. Just as he watches Ryota go, KK's phone begins to ring. KK lets out a long, deep sigh as he looks at the caller ID. Of course, perfect timing. How's it going? Not great. My interrogation may have been too much. He went elsewhere. So you leaned on him, he got scared, and he ran away. That about sums it up, yeah. Jerk. You should know as well as anyone what it's like to be young and scared. To need help from a grown-up you can trust. Just didn't want to get yanked around. Don't have the time. God forbid you spend 5 seconds helping a kid. A kid that might be onto something, I think. Damn. Okay. I can fix it. I will fix it. Ryota, come back. It's not safe here by yourself. I'll help you. As Ryota turns and looks back at KK, something comes over the detective and he softens. I believe you, okay? Promise. I need more to go on, kid. Why are you so convinced he was taken? Didn't happen to anyone else around here. But it did happen to my best friend. Sosuke's been missing for 2 full days. Everyone has been looking, but no one can find him. What about his parents? Have they filed a police report? I am the only one who really cares about Sosuke. I know he needs me. And no one else is even looking for him anymore, just me. Oh, he's lucky to have you. It's like when you saw crows circling above the building in one of the cases you investigated. You knew there was more to it than anyone else. Well, Mr. KK, I know there's more to Sosuke's disappearance. I just need your help. Really did your homework, huh? I'm impressed. You're more dedicated than most adults I know. You remind me of my friend Erica. She lost someone too, and she'll never stop fighting for them either. KK takes another glance at the alley. Alright, show me exactly where the Sosuke pal of yours disappeared. Ryota perks up. So you're gonna look into it? I'm here, ain't I? Let me check in with my team, see if they figured anything out. Could save us some time. KK reaches for his phone. What's up? We're all here. Oh. What's up? We're all here. I just need a quick word with one of you to follow up on what the kid has told me. Yeah. Bleh. Let's go with Ed. Ed, you find anything in those files of yours while I was talking to this kid? Unfortunately, I've only done a limited amount of my own research into this legend before being pulled away by other tasks. That said, I've been quite eager to continue it. Ed, spit it out. What do you know? Of course, it's still just a theory. While he was speaking, Ed queued up another file on his audio recorder. He lets it do the talking from here on out. While installing some ethereal energy monitoring hardware that I decided to place throughout the city, I become aware of micropulses within Tokyo's electrical grid that are only recognizable with distinct frequencies. It is my belief that these frequencies are tied to spiritual resonance, a byproduct of vanishing experiments. My intention is to continue monitoring these pulses via the mobile lab, with the hope of ultimately detecting a source location. So far, science points to the Shibuya district, but I've been unable to produce more specific results. It's as if the source is continually moving, relocating perhaps, to avoid the exact type of precision detection that I seek to achieve. A moving target, eh? Hell, if you were trying to move quickly throughout the city undetected, you could do worse than the sewers. Well, Ed, time to test this theory of yours. Ryota, it's time to find Sosuke. Nothing looks out of place, but things are rarely what they seem. KK slowly but deliberately reaches his hand out. He's not holding on to anything, but you would think that he is by the way he's moving. Like he's got something invisible dangling from his fingertips. Ryota has no clue what he's trying to do, but he watches closely. However, what happens next can only be seen by KK's eyes. As KK opens his fingers, a sparkling orb of energy drops from his hand down onto the ground. It ripples like water in a still pond, energy flowing outward into the world. Whoa. I assume this is one of the abilities you can get in the main game? I wish there was more going on, like, audibly. Because I feel like I can barely hear anything. Psychic energy. The trail leads further on, deeper into the alley and out of view. Guess he went that way. Puzzled, Ryota follows KK's eye line down the alley, but sees nothing out of the ordinary. What happened? I don't see anything. Trust me, kid, it's good you can't see it. This is a power you don't want, and you're too young for it, to take a risk like that and change your life forever. The world's a scary place. It keeps getting worse. We're gonna find your friend and get you back to your life. It's been a long time since I've read anything like this. KK and Rinko are in big trouble. This time, running like rats, desperate to stay alive, with only a dingy old sofa between them and monsters. We'd better find another exit. Rinko turns to KK and sees him holding his head. He appears to be in great pain. Damn, it's happening again. Your body's reacting to the ether. Whoa, okay, that's hard to look at. As KK looks around the room, his vision begins to break in half. He tries to focus, but rather than reform, everything continues to split apart even further. Another hallucination. The world is breaking in two. That'd be crystallized ether, another form of matter. Sounds like your body has entered the final stages of affinity. From thin air, like phantoms, these horrific visitors appear, surrounding KK and Rinko. Damn, we're surrounded. Was that like a flashback to him getting his powers? Mr. KK? Are you okay? Huh? Sorry, kid. My mind can be a little hard to control. You just kind of stood there for a little while. Sometimes my memories take me places. Hate to leave you alone again, but you need to wait here while I look for your pal. Sit tight. I won't be long. A report on Rinko's computer's setup flashes on screen. Ed's monitoring software has a hold of something big. The results are clear. Spiritual residue, and it's exactly at KK's location. What is it now? We just received an alert. There is a massive surge of spiritual energy at your location. Hold off on pursuing until we're able to send support. Can't wait forever for you guys. We might have a missing child on our hands. We've got plenty of evidence. I know what I'm getting myself into. Relax. Ed's research has already prepared me. I'm ready. I appreciate the vote of confidence on behalf of my work, but that research was actually quite limited. It was more of a brief overview, in fact. I wouldn't call it actionable intelligence, so to speak. It was a very informative overview. I doubt I could be any more ready than I am right now. It's not fair to ask us for help when you think you need us, then use our own words against us when you're too impatient to act as a team. We're in this together. KK decides to address one team member specifically to make his case. I feel like Erica would be a good idea for this one, right? What Erica and I have been through, I don't expect everyone else to understand. Hell, I barely understand it. Here's what I do understand. I take risks so others don't have to. And yeah, you all do the same thing. That's why I'm proud to call you my team. But it has to stop somewhere. A line needs to be drawn. We aren't the only vulnerable ones who need your protection. We're all strong, and that strength multiplies when we work together to help others. You two are so special to me, both of you, and I think I understand when you're both coming from. It's just that this thing, this torment, once that power has gotten inside of you, the affinity, it won't let you rest. It's like being chased. We're running from something awful. I'm sorry that I'm not making sense. I just can't be quiet right now. I have to speak my truth. I have to support whatever decision he makes. The truly selfish act would be to stand still and let it overtake you. In the end, I know I would do the same thing. Let's hope you never have to. I'll talk to you later. I'm in the middle of investigating. He was never any good at following people's directions. That attitude of his is precisely what saved our hides on countless occasions. You don't think I realize that? Erica smiles, thinking about KK's attitude. It doesn't bother her. I think I'm doing a pretty good job. Oh, damn, they're everywhere. KK's eyes darts between the two horrific figures into some incredibly strange glowing crystals that hover nearby. As he tries to speak, KK wheezes painfully. Ringo, what would happen if someone tried to touch one of those ether crystals? Your guess is as good as mine. Might give you the power to fight back. Might just make you even more miserable. Who can say? What about him? Did it grant him strength? Rico nods silently. After getting his answer, KK, without hesitation, stretches his hand out toward the crystals. Wait, stop. Stopping's not an option. Not for any of us. You don't know what will happen. It could kill you. And those things won't. We're dead if we don't try something. We aren't out of options yet. You've thrown away everything to fight these monsters, same as me. There's not a goddamn thing left to lose at this point. Before Rinko can say anything else, KK reaches all the way out. Heck yeah, throw some D4s and D8s. Roll initiative, bitch. Whoa. KK follows the trail of psychic energy deeper into the dark Shibuya alleyway, away from the glow of familiar streetlights and vending machines. His venture into the unseen brings him to a manhole cover where the spirit residue flashes with an eerie intensity. This spot is clearly the origin point for whatever spirit is at the center of this mystery. Did they take you this way, Sosuke? KK looks around again and finding nothing focuses attention on this haunted manhole. The spectral vision shows KK a lot more than he thought it might, revealing a glowing specter hovering in this dark and dreary place, the spirit of a man in his 30s. A Jibaku-rei. According to Japanese lore, this type of spirit is trapped in a physical location. Okay, Spectre. What's keeping you tied down there? Ma'am. The Spectre seems unable to answer him. Instead, he mutters, as if distracted, or perhaps completely delirious. Either or, maybe both. Spectres aren't especially concerned with politeness or clarity. Neither of us are going anywhere until I get some answers. I need to know, what are you doing here, specifically at this manhole cover? Why haunt this place? Uh, I thought I was a kid. Just a kid playing around. Just having fun. Alone. I wanted to make sure he was safe. I thought it was a kid, not I was a kid. So just being neighborly, eh? Yes. No. Not making friend. Protecting. But he wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't a kid, though. It wasn't. Oh. It wasn't a kid, though, was it? There was something else. Something lurking in these shadows. Did I die? I think I died. But this isn't what I expected. What was it? Monster? A monster? The specter points downwards. Underneath, huh? KK stares at the manhole, as though if he just looks hard enough, he'll suddenly see what lurks in the darkness beneath its cover. He doesn't have to see the specter nod to know he's right. It went that way. Before he can pull up the manhole cover and see for himself, a long shadow creeps in from the edge of the alleyway. Did you find anything? Snooping around is detective business. You don't belong back here. I thought I heard you talking to someone. Who is this youngster? Only I can hear you, so don't bother. Only you can hear me? Well, sure, nobody else is even here. This is turning into a damn clown show, kid. I need you to stay here while I go down. It's not safe for you there. Not safe. Not safe. Monster. But how do you know I'll be safe up here? My team's one call away. They'll get here quick if you're in danger. Weren't you just saying something about being in the middle of an investigation and too busy to talk to anyone? Funny you should mention that. I could actually use some help. I believe they call it client services. Who are you calling, mister? Are they nice like you? Or nicer? Client services? Sounds more like babysitting to me. If only you would just wait for us to get there. We play the hand we're dealt, and juggling work and childcare has never been my strong suit. I need a little support. Rinko sighs, a long, tired sigh of a frustrated person who knows that in the end, of course, they'll help. She'll always help him, just as he will always help her. I have the perfect candidate in mind. Maybe... I mean, Erica's, like, closer to his age, so maybe, like, she can, like, connect with him better? Erica. She's the only kid I actually know and like anymore. Hey, KK, you need my help? I can be there ASAP. I do need your help, but it can't wait. My new friend Ryota, the one who called us for help. Is he a little afraid of you? What? No. Why would you think that? I mean, yeah, maybe a little. But no, that's not it. Although it would be better if he did fear me. Then I could do my work. No. Yeah, you aren't really that scary. I think I get it. Let me talk to him. KK hands his phone to Ryota and motions for him to accept this call. Yes? Is this Mr. Ryota? Yes. I'm so excited I get to speak with you. I have heard that you're quite the investigator. I need help from someone like you. What can I do to help you? Well, our friend who was there with you, he actually has 2 missions. Since he is looking for your friend, maybe you could swap and look for my friend? If we share the responsibility, I'm sure that we can achieve success together as a team. I suppose I could try to help you since he is helping me. Okay, but first, can you keep a secret? It's very important and related to this mission. Yes, I'm best at secrets. I won't tell you I know that, but it's true. I won't tell you how I know that, but it's true. My friend is a cat. I put a tracker on her collar that says she's nearby you, in the alley by your house. I miss her dearly. I'm a little embarrassed to admit it, but some of my best friends are animals. Your secret is safe with me. What does she look like? She is all black with one white spot and a few white whiskers. Her name is Monet, like the painter, and she really likes to hide. Can you look closely in between and behind all the vending machines and trash cans? Just to be safe, text me a picture of every dark corner you can find. She's very good at camouflage and easy to miss. I will find your friend. Ryota hands the phone back to KK and turns his attention to the nearest trash can. Phone out, he seems to be inspecting each side of it. Lucky for you, your new buddy is an animal lover just like me. I've given him a rescue mission to find a missing cat and sent me a photo of it. But what if he succeeds? Tons of strays here. He might actually bump into one. I could always use more cat pics texted to me, and maybe he'll give it a home that it needs. Win-win. Now to get down there and find your pal, Sosuke. See, I knew that she'd do a good job. Dirty water splashes under KK's feet as he makes his way through the still darkness of Shibuya's sewers. The further he goes, the darker it gets, but not because of any change in light. No, this darkness is unnatural. In fact, it's not darkness at all, it's tangible. Dense fog made of spiritual energy fills the air. Toxic. Paranormal waistcoats the ground and plugs the drains. Whoa. But the air itself is rejecting him. This corruption flows between worlds and reaches around him, blocking KK's way. How long has it been building up right below our feet? Is it like this everywhere? As KK goes deeper, the Kagari only increases. There's definitely something here if there's this much corruption swirling around. Nothing I can't handle, though. Alone in the darkness, KK summons his power and... Ooh. Ooh. Oh. Oh. What the heck? Whoa, this is weird. Why does it do this? Whoa, this is really hard to do with a stick. Is that good enough? Heck yeah. Cleanses the corruption, returning the sewer to its normal state. That's better, minus the stink. With the Kagari now cleared, as if they were waiting for a moment of safety, someone appears. Sosuke, is that you? The small boy avoids KK's look, turning his back and picking at something on the wet ground. Splish splash, splish splash. Hey you. Kid, you okay? Can you hear me? Are you hiding from something? Take a bath. Take a bath. Come on, kid. This isn't the time or the place. Answer me. I'm not trying to scare you, but you gotta work with me here. In the vast darkness of the sewer, the sound of KK's phone suddenly rings out, the tinny chime echoing back and forth around the hall of space. The small boy in the raincoat doesn't seem to notice. He must be very preoccupied. I'm close. I found Sosuke, but I'm worried he won't. Down so far, the signal to KK's phone is barely holding on. He can only make out a few sounds, and struggles to make out what words they might be forming. Hello? Is anyone there? Ringo, is that you? Ed? Erica? Who is this? What is... Oh, that's just like a skip? The call cuts out, the phone going dead in KK's hand. Damn. Enough screwing around, Sosuke. Just like that, finally, as if called by his mother to come to dinner, the child responds. He stands up and turns to KK with his dead, evil eyes. You're not Sosuke. You're the monster. KK raises his hand and calls forth an energy that he discovered that day, long ago. The day he found his back against the wall, reaching out and touching the ether crystal. Ever heard of ethereal weaving, you monster? Energy surges into KK's hand, green light winding and glowing, charging around his fingertips. The increasingly bright light glows, illuminating the tunnel. And in that moment, standing in the center of the tunnel, we can see this monster, this raincoat visitor, just in time for it to press a child's whistle to its mouth and... As a stranger's fingertips lies KK... What? As a stranger's fingertips lies KK, now a prisoner. At a stranger's fingertips lies KK. Now a prisoner. Oh, that's weird. At a stranger's fingertips lies KK as a prisoner. Okay. I need my subject to remain calm, or else nothing will get done. Despite being captive, KK flashes the stranger a fierce glare. You son of a bitch. Hello, my new friend. I'm keen to see how useful your vessel turns out to be. The stranger takes something out and holds it in his hand. An amulet, though clearly not simply for decoration. It surges with power. He looks from the amulet and back to KK and smiles. As the monstrous little raincoat visitor blows his whistle, he steps back into the shadowy darkness. Running away, huh? But he's not running away at all. In fact, he's only making space for two much larger, far more horrifying visitors to show up and challenge KK. I've been waiting to run into you again. Let's go, you bastards. Ooh! Damage a single visitor with a wind attack. Visitors perish after 2 hits. Talisman that stops visitors from moving. We can consume them on use. Summon a shield to protect from one visitor's attacks. Ooh. One umbrella visitor is injured. Umbrella visitor attacks. Let's do a shield. Barrier appears in front of KK. An umbrella visitor attacks, but its attack is deflected by the barrier. Barrier is broken. Let's try to beat it. It's injured. Umbrella visitor attacks. Do a shield. Deflect. Barrier's broken. Damage. What? What? Okay, maybe I should just stop him. I need... What? I need my subject to remain calm? Let's just stop them. Done. Ooh. The fight now over. The sewer is oddly calm again. KK sweeps the space, looking for any clues that may be left behind. Why would a pack of monsters manifest their evil here? But then he sees it, affixed to one wall of the tunnel. A wooden tag, sometimes called a kafuda. This must be what summoned those things. KK reaches out to take the kafuda down, but as his fingertips approach it, Kifura. Oh. Ringo? God damn it, Ringo! Erica? KK feels a big, quick thump through his body. Whoa. When he looks down, he sees someone else's arm stabbing through his chest. It's horrifying. Black smoke rushes out of his body. Looking back up, KK sees a man wearing a Hanya mask. You're... As KK comes to, he realizes that he's in the tunnel once again. No, still. He looks at his chest. It's totally fine. No gaping hole. Not even a scratch. Sweating, breathing heavy, his mind races. It was a horrible dream. Maybe a vision? He grips the kifuda in his hand. I won't let him get away with this. So hard that it smashes into pieces. Nice. I wonder if that's a gameplay thing too. At that moment, KK realizes he's not actually alone. Distracted by his fury, he had missed the approach of someone new. Who's there? Surprised, he spins to face this entity, but before he can raise his other hand... Yeah. KK emerges from the tunnel to find Ryota waiting with the rest of the team. You made it. Of course I did. Hope you weren't too worried. It's good to see you in the welcoming party. It's embarrassing to admit it, but I was actually starting to get a little worried. Rinko and Ed's monitoring system went off the charts. All kinds of activity around here. And then when we got here, you were gone and didn't come right back up. It was a long few minutes of trying to play it cool. If I lost you, what would I have left? Not very much, I'm afraid. There are plenty of things in your life more worthy than me. That's just it, I guess. I'm being selfish, I think. When I see you, when I think about everything you've been through, I know that we're similar people, except you're much stronger. If you didn't survive, how could I ever? Maybe we're not totally the same on the... Maybe we're not totally the same on the surface or whatever. Not at all the same, but the loss that you've experienced, deep down, if anyone could possibly understand, it's you. Understand? Is that what it said? Did it say understand? Please, Erica, don't focus on me. Sure, I came back this time, but it could have gone the other way. It's hard to explain to someone young like you, who's been through so much, but has their whole life ahead of them. You've got to live for yourself. Can't help anyone else's situation till you get control of your own. I know your heart. It may be broken with what your father did to your family, and I'll never forgive him. But those broken pieces are in the right place. You need to be strong for yourself. Then you can stand beside me and Rinko and Ed. And we can put our lives on the line for the people we love, together. And even then, things are going to be fine. Just you wait and see. Safely above ground, reunited with his team, KK turns his attention to the original source of all this drama, his young client Ryota. You were never going to tell me, were you? Sosuke isn't your best friend. He's your dog. He's my dog and my best friend. That's why nobody cared, because it was a dog. Oh no. KK steps back nervously as Sosuke tries to jump into his lap, tail wagging. Oh. Oh, calm down. He just wants to be pet. Jeez. Who would have thought that such a tough-as-nails former detective would have such a strong phobia around dogs? Don't have to broadcast it, all right? Don't be scared. Sosuke loves everyone. Maybe you should draw the line at loving monsters and following them into the sewer. Ryota hugs his dog and gets a face full of licks in response. KK relaxes slightly, seeing how harmless his little dog is, but still keeps some distance. Thank you so much for bringing him home safely, Mr. KK. Mr. KK? What an adorable alias. When exactly did you start going by this new short nickname, KK? I suppose it has a fun ring to it, not quite so formal as your full name, Before we get too sidetracked, as the leader investigator on this one, you've got some paperwork to do, KK. Not sure what's worse, fighting monsters or filling out all these damn forms. It's obvious that you prefer fighting to paperwork. KK scribbles out a few quick lines. Only Ed can read them. Hey kid, this is for you. Ooh, is it a prize for helping you find that ghost? Almost. It's the bill. Give me money, kid. Ryota's face sinks as he's left holding the check. Lucky for you, today's work is pro bono. That means free. Consider this your receipt. I'm feeling generous right now. Ryota looks at the paper in his hand. It says, The Case of the Cursed Manhole. Extermination complete. KK. Leaning in over his shoulder, Rinko lets out an uncharacteristically loud burst of laughter. Oh, now I get it. You didn't choose the nickname KK. Sloppy paperwork chose it for you. There's a lot in this life that we don't get to choose. Call me what you like. Not like I've got any use for a real name these days. Definitely not one of my old names. It doesn't matter what anyone calls me, so long as I find that bastard. KK's gaze looks fierce, as though he's recalling a bitter past. Reflected in his eyes is Ryota. He looks pleased to have received KK's autograph. KK's expression softens up in response. That said, I guess KK's not so bad. Ah, that was fun. That was a cute little thing. You know, I have to say that I was super interested in Ghostwire Tokyo, like from the very beginning of its announcement. And then when it was revealed that it was like first person and it was more action, I was like, I don't care as much. I was hoping for a more like Silent Hill type thing, just because it's been so long since we've got a really good like story-based horror thing that's just like survival and whatnot. I thought it would be really cool to explore that with like Japanese style monsters and ghosts and demons, yokai, all that stuff. And then when they announced it was like an action game, I was like, oh, I mean, that's cool, but it's not what I thought it was going to be. But like reading this, playing this has been like, it does make me want to play it more, just because like the idea of these abilities and whatnot are so cool, and like the idea of like the spirit hunting, spirits like detectives essentially working cases to do that. But at the same time, looking at the gameplay, it doesn't seem like you interact with this team. I mean, I would think KK would be the same main character. I don't know why they would bring up a random main character for this and not have it be the same guy in the actual game. But I really like the whole Ghostwire thing of like the weird like first person wire magic mechanics. I think that looks really cool. So I don't know, maybe I think I will get Ghostwire Tokyo eventually. I probably won't get it right away. I mean, I still need to beat like Elden Ring, and I have so many other games that I need to play. And I just feel like just more and more games keep coming out. It's like I don't have time for all of this. But that was pretty neat. Can I? Ooh, I can make it go faster. This has been fun. I wish I could have actually played. Well, maybe I don't. Maybe I don't wish I could have actually played Babylon's Fall because, God, am I just so disappointed in that game. So maybe that's just a sign that I should just stop trying. Which is sad because I really wanted Platinum to have a good game. Like a really good, successful game. Here's hoping everyone buys Bayonetta 3. Oh, I can just skip it out. Right, cool. That was cool. That was pretty neat. It was fun walking through all these demos.